Hi, Dr. Jay Sutliff for Optimize for Life. This month we're going to talk about how you can get more nutrients per bite, and that's the theme of everything I talk about with the nutrition aspect of living a healthy life. And so I'm going to give you some more tips because every month and every week it seems I have people ask me, well, how do I do that? How do I eat a healthy diet? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and give you some principles you can follow, and I call them the 4 S's. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how you can get more nutrient-dense foods into your daily diet. The first S has to do with salad. And when I talk about salad, I'm talking about green salads. What we have here is we have a green salad with a variety of greens as the base. So we pat that down first. So you can see here we have a blend of greens. We have some spinach in here. We have some romaine. We have a little bit of kale in here. And so we always use greens as a base. So every day I try to eat one large green salad, at least one, as an entree size. So what we have here is we have some green salad as a base. As you can see also, we always like to have some cruciferous vegetables. And in this case here, we have specifically, we have some purple cabbage shredded up in here. So purple cabbage, then we shred up some carrots. And so we have some carrot in there on top of the cabbage and the greens. And then we've added in this, we do a little variety all the time. And now what we have going on is we have some jicama. Jicama is like almost like a potato consistency, but it's raw. And so this is our green base. And we have a salad about that size every day. And now remember, this is a base, okay, with the vegetables added in here. And then you can also add in, these kind of serve as kind of like a crouton. I have some raw sunflower seeds I like to just sprinkle across the top here. And then we also like to throw in, if you want to throw in some garbanzo beans or some black beans as a complement to the green salad. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to use hummus for a salad dressing, so to speak. So I'm going to take and I'm going to throw in some hummus that we made earlier. Remember, hummus has garbanzo beans in there. Okay? And so we're getting a nice protein source there and also some more legumes. Okay? So I'm going to get that in there, and sometimes we thin it down. I like it thicker like this, so you can thin it down, and I move it around with my fork. But again, remember, this is the first S of getting more nutrients per bite, salad. So start with a green salad, and the greens, and then you add to that some vegetables, some seeds, some protein source, and that would be a majority of a meal right there. The fun thing you could do too is you could take this, if you want it to be more convenient, you could take it and you could take a tortilla and put it in the middle and put it up, roll it up and put cellophane around it and kind of peel it back like a banana, and you could have a salad inside the wrap. So that would be your green salad, maybe more portable, and then we'd like to throw in some roasted almonds possibly and get a little crunchy texture. And so I'm trying to give you some ideas on how you can get more nutrients per bite using the 4 S's. So that's the first S, that's the salads. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to slide it over a little bit here. The next S in the 4 S's has to do with what we call soups and stews. Okay, so here's the principles with the second S, the soups and stews. Start with a nice stock pot, or if you want, you can go with a pressure cooker, or you could go with a slow cooker or a crock pot. Okay, so what we're going to do is we would add water, and then we always start with some kind of broth or seasoning of some sort. In this case, we have Bill's Best chickenish style seasoning. You can make your own. You can get bouillon from the store, a vegetable bouillon, something like that. But again, you start with a stock, put the water in, get the seasoning going in there, or the bouillon or the broth. And then secondly, we would start them. If we're going to do a wild rice, we would cook the wild rice by itself fully ahead of time. Or if you're going to go with some dry beans. These are garbanzo beans. You could go in there and you could soak them overnight, and then you could put them in a pressure cooker. Or again, you could also use a crock pot and throw everything in the morning and let it cook throughout the day, and then have it ready at noon or for supper meal. Okay, so we've got the stock for the soup or stew. And then we're going to start adding in some various vegetables, maybe some carrots, some onions, some broccoli, another type of onion there, some zucchini, whatever it is. But again, remember that the key with adding vegetables to your soup, you want to have them cut in a uniform fashion so they're all about the same width and the size, so that they cook uniformly so that when you bite into it that they're all cooked consistently. So we started with the stock, the bouillon, the seasoning. We added maybe some rice. If we're going to use some grains, we could use different types of rice. If you're going to use a bean source, you could do some garbanzo beans. Or again, if you wanted to save on time, you could use some canned beans, rinse them really well, put them in, maybe do a variety of black beans and maybe some kidney beans or garbanzos or some pinto beans. And so we have that going. It's nice and thick. Then we're adding the vegetables to it. Okay, we have the grains there if you want to add a quinoa or something else with it. And then right before we serve it, the last few minutes before it's done being cooked, what we do is we add our herbs and seasonings to it. Okay, and then maybe we want to throw in there a bay leaf or something like that. And again, now when I say the second S is a soup or stew, what you can do is if you want it a little bit more brothy, if you like it a little bit thinner, so to speak, you just add more liquid. If you like it more hearty, maybe it's depending upon the time of year, the season you're in, maybe you could cut down on the amount of liquid you're using, so then it becomes a stew. Okay, so it was salad was the first S. Second is soups and stews. So now let's look at the third S and the 4 S's in your attempt to get more nutrients per bite. What we're going to look at now is stir fries. So with the stir fries, what you're going to want to look at first of all is what are you going to serve the stir fry vegetables over. So in a sense, I call that my base. My base is either going to be something like, again, wild rice, maybe some brown rice. Maybe you want to do it over a bed of greens. And so you do the stir fry vegetables over the top of the greens. Some people use quinoa, and some people use just red rice. Whatever it is that you're going to use, maybe you want to cook that and set that aside. And then you want to start talking about what you're going to do with the vegetable portion of your stir fry. Okay? And again, it's a lot like the soup. You want to take a variety of vegetables. I've added in here. What we do is we like to buy the peppers, and sometimes we buy too many of them when they're on sale, and then we'll cut them up and put them in nice strips, and then we'll freeze them. So these are a variety of frozen green, some orange, yellow, some red peppers. Okay? And so what we'll do is we'll take and we'll dump those into a pan like this. We'll cut up the broccoli, the carrots, all these different things. And again, you want them in uniform sizes. Okay, so we're putting that in the stir fry. And then sometimes what we'll do is we'll take and we'll cube up some tofu and we'll bake that. We'll add that to the stir fry towards the end where we just need to warm that up because it's already going to be pre-cooked. Some people like to use beans and other types of things in their stir fries. So it's a variety of vegetables such as this, or if you want, sometimes it's more economical to buy the frozen vegetables in a pack. Then you can cut down on the amount of chopping you're doing. So you could use frozen vegetables not only in your stir fry but also in your soups. Okay, so this is again the stir fry. So we, in a sense, had our rice or whatever it is we're going to, or even our greens that we're going to use as the base or the bed of them, and then we're going to take the vegetables, put them in here. We're going to use maybe like a soy sauce. In this case, we have Bragg's liquid aminos. Use whatever variety you want. And maybe we'll use a little chicken style seasoning with the Bragg's, and then we'll put it in here and we'll stir fry the vegetables with the sauce. Okay? Or if you don't want to use those, you can just use plain water to stir fry your vegetables in water. But again, this kind of gives a nice flavor, and then it permeates all the different vegetables as you're cooking them, and it's permeating into the cells and so forth of the vegetables. So then we would cook all of these vegetables in the soy sauce or seasoning, stir them up, stir fry them up, okay, get them nice and cook down the liquid. And then we take that and then we would pour that over the top of the base, whether it's the greens or the rice or the grains or whatever you're going to use. Okay? So that's a stir fry. And again, throw in there whatever you have. Sometimes we'll go into the refrigerator and say, wow, let's clean out the refrigerator today, and we'll do a whole variety, and maybe we'll change the flavoring of the sauce we use to stir fry the vegetables in. If we want more of an Asian flavor, maybe we'll do like a peanut sauce. Throw a little bit of peanut butter in there with the soy sauce and so forth, and stir fry that up, cook it up, and then put it over the top. Okay? So that's the stir fry. So we have salads, soups and stews, stir fries, and now we're going to go to the last one, and sometimes it's my most favorite one. It's smoothies. Okay? Now I really like this little bullet type of blenders that we've been using lately, because now you can do a customized smoothie for yourself. Before we used to always use the big Vitamix blenders, and everybody would have the same smoothie, and that still works great. Everybody gets the same smoothie. Well, in this case here, you can customize your smoothie for yourself, or if it's just you, you can use a single serving type of blender like this right here. Okay, so this is a bullet. This happens to be for a Ninja blender. And so what we always start with is you want to start with a liquid base. Now, choose whatever variety you want. Today it looks like we have some soy milk. So we would put about a cup and a half, close to 2 cups of liquid in here, in this case. And we'd use the soy milk, okay, if you want it a little bit thinner. But if you want it a little bit thicker like I do, I cut it back to maybe even like a cup and a quarter. So you put the base in, okay? And then the second thing I always include in my smoothies is a frozen banana as the base, because I kind of like that vanilla base thickening agent. And so what I would take is I would take a banana like this, and again, these are just ripe bananas, peeled and frozen. Some people break these off when they're freezing them. If you haven't done that, then you can add them to, okay, your smoothie. So I've got the liquid in here per se, and then I throw in the banana. And then you want to choose what type of flavor smoothie you want to have. Today I'm going to go with the blueberries. So then I would probably do 1 to 1.5 bananas. Again, this is all going to be adjusted to your liking. If you don't like banana, then don't use the bananas. Use some other fruits in there, but use frozen vegetables typically. And so then what I'll add in maybe a cup of blueberries, and then I'll spin that up nice. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll even add some greens in here, and you have to get that nice balance. Kale seems to have the least strong flavor, and so I'll put some kale in here to get a few greens in my smoothie, and you don't even really taste them. And then you can think about the base, and let me back up a little bit. Sometimes for my base, I will just take some really ripe fresh fruit. We have like some mangoes and things like that, and I'll just cut them up, put it in here, and spin it, and that'll be my base, my liquid base. And then I'll add my bananas in there, so like a banana mango smoothie, throw a little greens in there. And then I always like to add in what we call the boosts and things like that. And so sometimes we'll have chia seeds, maybe we'll have flax seeds, and I'll add some flax in there to get some more omega-3 fatty acids, or maybe even put a little DHA, EPA oil in here to help with the brain function. I'll put that in the smoothie. So really, what we're looking at is a liquid base. We're looking at this is a liquid nutrient vehicle is what we're looking at. So again, the base, then some bananas if you like the bananas, and then you start adding in maybe cherries or maybe some of the berries. Remember, try to get some berries in every day. In this case, we have the blueberries. Throw some greens in there, spin it up, and you have a nice hearty meal there with a lot of nutrient-dense foods, and you just liquid, and you can again, change the consistency and the thickness based upon how much liquid you put in there. So that was the 4th S, smoothies. So in summary, the thing we're looking at here is how can we get more nutrients per bite in every single meal we eat. So remember, we want to get at least 1 large green salad, entree size salad every single day. So number 1 was salads. Get a variety of greens, rotate them, the vegetables, rotate them, maybe seasonal vegetables, farmers markets, things like that. So salads was number 1. Number 2 was soups and stews. Again, it's just a base, and then you can add all kinds of vegetables in there. You can even add greens in there. Get some cooked greens and put them in there. So that's number 2 is the soups and stews. Number 3 is the stir fries. Again, variety of vegetables, protein sources over a variety of grains or bed of greens. And the last one was smoothies. So that's the 4 S's. And you try to build those into your daily diet, and they just give you different avenues and different flavors and tastes, seasonal foods, and then you get them in and you mix and match that, and there you're going to find that you're going to get more nutrients per bite on a daily basis. So why don't you give a chance by starting to put in some 4 S's every single day of your life. This is Jay Sutliff for Optimize for Life. All the best to you.